here I found a high severity issue. I think it will be quite interesting, and I want to hear your thoughts about it. This is the first issue that I reported. So if you remember, the organizer is sending the money, the tokens, to pre-computed address before the contract is deployed. And the way it works is that it's going to utilize this function, getProxyAddress. It's going to send the salt of the contest and the implementation, and it will return the proxy address. Okay? And all the explanation is here. The docs are pretty good. And if you think about it, imagine there is a DApp, a web application, SparkN, and you are an organizer and you have like a step-by-step process to create a contest. And then they tell you, all right, now the contest is created, it's registered. Now it's a time to send the tokens. And they present an address for you to send the tokens. These tokens are going to be sent to this pre-computed address, and they're going to utilize this getProxyAddress function to get this address that will be presented to the organizer in the front end that is supposed to send the tokens to. Now, what if this function returns a wrong address? The tokens will be lost forever, and you will see in a second how easy it is to get the wrong function, get the wrong address. And this, in my opinion, is high severity, because if an organizer sends tokens to a wrong computed address, this money will be lost. It's loss of money and it's high severity. And I think that also the likelihood of this to happen is high due to the way they designed this getProxyAddress function. Now, I want you to take a look at the getProxyAddress function and tell me, why do you think the likelihood is high and why it's problematic the way they designed this function? So take 1 minute, take a look at this code. I also recommend you to clone it locally if you didn't participate, and take it a look locally for better quality instead of going through the live stream and pixels. So you can just clone the code locally and take a look at this getProxyAddress and tell me what could go wrong there. It's just a public view function. It's not even a function that's going to change the state, but it's still, in my opinion, it could be catastrophic. And this is my report. It's a very detailed report. I'm very proud of it. I hope it's going to be accepted. I hope it's going to be unique. I don't know how creative it's going to be and how many people reported it. We can actually search here in the issues, but I didn't do that yet. As outlined in the project README, when the owner initiates a new contest, the organizer sponsor is responsible for sending tokens to a predicted proxy address. The address is determined by combination of the generated salt, which relies on organizer, contest ID, and implementation, and the implementation contract address. This is basically, I describe what happens over here. You see, it's based on organizer, contest ID, and implementation. This is the salt, and also in the implementation. And this is the get proxy. Again, salt and implementation. And as we know, salt is based on organizer, contest ID, and implementation. So these three parameters. Now, the organizer sends the tokens prior to the proxy deployment by using the ProxyFactory getProxyAddress. This is the function that we just see. It's a view function to send it in advance. However, the problem is that this function lacks a verification mechanism for the accuracy of the provided parameters. So doesn't matter what is going to be sent here, which salt or which implementation, anyways, this function will return some kind of address. It's anyway going to return an address because this cannot fail. It just, just functions, ABI encode packed, uint, type. There is no revert, no require statements. Whatever values you're going to send here, whatever 32 bytes and address, it's going to return you some kind of computed address. And now we'll see why it's bad, because it needs to have some kind of verification mechanism. This can lead to situations where the organizer inputs incorrect parameters, resulting in the receipt of inaccurate proxy address. And if tokens are sent to this wrong address, they will be lost forever. So since there is no verification, the organizer can send invalid salt and implementation. Now you might say, wait, but it will be handled off-chain, right? It will be handled in the front end. Let's try to think how it will be handled in the front end. The organizer will connect his wallet to the website. And based on his wallet, the organizer address will be retrieved from the connected wallet to the website, right?